All right, so here we are. I just want to give a heads up on a little project that I'm working on. So if you don't already know, I've got a website set up. I've been playing with the AI music generation stuff, which it's not exactly as simple as people think it is. Um, but eventually, I found a website that let me make music on the fly, and I pretty much made a whole concept album with the story behind it. And there is a character, so I mainly lots of experimentation with what the platform is capable of doing. And then I tied it all together, and I created this concept album. Pretty much the if you go to I guess listen, this is coming out next Friday, from my understanding. Why is wait a minute? Something's wrong. Oh, the album. I gotta figure out what happened with that listen button. Okay, so basically we're following a guy's time throughout the day, from the time that he wakes up to the time that he sleeps. It's weird. It's funny. It's existential dread, and everything's out to get this guy. Um, he blames time itself for being slow or waking up late. He set the snooze. um, but it's fun. It's funny. Once I got the album set up, I learned how to send it up to like DistroKid, or not DistroKid, to like Spotify, Amazon, and all that stuff. I did see it actually on Amazon. So if I go here, Apple Music, well, it's on Apple Music right now. So if I go there, there's Apple Music. All right. iTunes, Apple Music are the same thing. Hyperfollow is like some kind of website that DistroKid gives you to follow along. So it's able to put my website and my merchandise up there. And here's Apple Music and iTunes that showed up, and you can pre-save on Spotify. I also have DistroVid set up with music videos. Now, this isn't a music video. This is me just giving a precursor, just talking about. So, the album regarding Cubicle 13, what was behind it, is more or less. There we go. So, I just used CapCut to do transition images, and I used DeepAI to make all the marionette style images. So, there's a lot going on. What we have though is I started expanding into merchandise because I have the full music video for the first song. But I got into Zazzle to like make merchandise related to the album. If anybody wants to buy it, I might just buy a coffee cup for myself. I created a hoodie for "Choose a Temperature, You Coward" is another song. There's a marionette here walking into, it looks like office cubicles with big giant clocks. So again, I use AI a lot. Keep giving it ideas of what I'd like to see, and then some of these I have to edit extensively. All right, so merchandise is cool. I was starting to think what else I could do. I start coming on the idea of games. I was thinking about a video game at first, and I was like, well, wait a minute. What about the board games? So let's see. We don't need that. So here's the AI generator, which I was trying to come up with ideas for logos. Um, let's go to, okay, here it is. Here's the game crafter. I used to use this years ago, like 12, 13 years ago. I used to be really big into board games. I go to Gen Con Indie every year with a group of guys, and we'd play test card games and such. And I actually had a few ideas. So you go here, you can see Caves and Tunnels is the big game that I was working on. And here are all the images that I had back then. And I was using Second Life. So these are actually like, they exist in 3D, or in Second Life they existed at the time, and I adjusted my camera to take the pictures and do all the lighting and the artwork in there. So it's just an interesting take on it. I just never finished it up. I did have a paper version of the game I was playing with. There were actually 3 different parts. I was getting very involved in trying to figure out how to combine multiple games. Like one game would be just to put the tiles together to build out the dungeon, sort of like Carcassonne. Another would be actually populating the dungeon. And another version was building a character party with cards that would lay over top of each other to represent the gear and the weapons that the characters had. And then you could take those characters and run through the dungeon and have a blast. Well, it never happened. I think around that time was when I got divorced. So, yeah. Things changed. So I'm coming back here. I mean, I even have this game. I don't even know what this is. It just says there's a card. There are no cards other than the back. And I'm clueless. Like, what was Shock Symphony? What is that? So right now I'm looking at creating a game for the Cubicle 13. And I have gone through pretty extensively in setting this up. It is a card game. And you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sets of decks. And the idea here with 5 sets is that I'm not fully certain about this yet, but I want to have like a common, uncommon kind of collectible aspect of it if I make more cards. Right now I'm just testing. But when you make the cards, you only have 5 different options for classifications. So I chose my classifications as common, uncommon, rare. However, with here, I'm doing it again. So there's actually escapes and allies. So that's how we have this. Mainly the main issue I'm running into is for each of these cards, you have to do it in increments of 10. So burdens, I was looking at, well, I want, originally I had where's my spreadsheet? Let's put it over here. Here's my spreadsheet. So here's the actual distribution I wanted. You can see only 2 of those are divisible by 10. So everything else is like 6, 6, 6, 3, and 12. So I'm changing things based on that. So events, effects, and burdens have 10 each. Whereas ally, escape, tools, and twist, I'm going to combine those 2. And then if I go here, you can see allies and escapes, tools and twists. Wait a minute. Yes. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 50 cards in all. I could increase that. I'm still working out what I want to do. This is all kind of like testing phase. But basically the whole idea here is, if I go here, you can see how I can say deck includes random no duplicates or all cards. So if it was all cards, this whole classification system would go away. It would just like be whatever I put down here is how many we have. Actually, I could actually put a number next to each card and say I want 3 of this, 2 of this. Anyway, I get to upload my artwork. So here's the back of each card. And then here's the front of each card. So you get to actually look and see what it will probably look like when we print out the cards. And I'm going with the office theme for the first set. So I figure if I like the whole music thing and it kind of takes off, maybe I can do a game for each album and just keep adding more cards and stuff to expand. So we've got Ghost of HR. There is no Ghost of HR in the album. The album just has HR giving a presentation. But I figure let's just build onto the corporate office thing. So this is an ally, so you can see a little sock puppet up here. There are rules, so let me say I'm done. Yeah, let's go back up here. There are rules I'm working on right now in trying to make into instructions or fancy instructions. So I've got the back of the card as the front of the rule book. You can do whatever you want. This is just what I'm doing. I've got the icon for this set edition is the Cubicle 13. I'm saying what they can do to start the play and how to choose a player. There's actually more to it. You can't really, can I? Yeah, so I give a suggestion, but I'm saying, or not, it's up to you. I'm trying to keep it funny. I probably need to rework these a little bit more. Whelm, so the whole game's based on the silliness of the word whelm, because nobody uses whelm. We always use overwhelmed. So I'm like, okay, let's build up whelm until you have too much, and then you lose. How to win, you're the last player who's not overwhelmed, or you find an escape, or a card says you win and nobody stops it. How to lose, you're overwhelmed. A card says you're overwhelmed. You're not having fun, or you misuse jelly beans. There's more rules, I just only have one side right now set up. And then I'm like, okay, there are no ties, and if you lose and you're still talking, you still win. So, yeah. And then here's the little logo I made for the Barda Bazaar. So I came up with that last night to kind of give it a better branding than just using my face as a clown everywhere. The nice thing I like is they let you pick boxes too, but I can only pick like either 40 cards or 90 cards. There's nothing in between, and my intent was 52 cards. The rule book is the thickness of 2 cards, so I would have needed 54. But we're kind of stuck. So I uploaded this image. They give you templates to download. I moved all of my images accordingly. I still went with my logo on the back just to say who I am. I just put my clown name. And since I have a PhD that I downloaded for free or honorary, I put Dr. Leonardo because that's now my clown name. I could include like a business card kind of thing, maybe. Or add in some absolute cards that you'll always get regardless of how rare they are. But the way this is set up, if I make enough cards, people who keep buying boxes of cards will get different cards in each set. The cool thing is you can view this in 3D. Let's make it a little bit darker. Now, the other thing I like about it is they show you the thickness of the paper. So you can actually see that white sliver on the edges in the way that this is cut out. I mean, this looks like something you'd actually buy, you know, in a store. And then you could open the box. Let me, can I zoom out? Yeah. So I can open the box. And because the cards are so long, they give you that little edge towards the side a little bit. So that little edge lets you grab the top of the cards with your thumb rather than just opening at the top and just trying to, you know, shake the box or something to get the cards out. Let's see, close the box. We can also do something called simulating drift, because the way the printer works or the cutting machine, you might not get exactly printed in the center, so they let you shift kind of like to see how far off it might be and what the box of cards will look like if that happens. So that's what I got here, and for the most part it looks pretty good even with the simulated drift. Now you can see I have that little star and some pink here. Oh, you can randomize the direction. That's kind of cool. And you got a little bit of green there. So I think I don't know how often the drift is that bad. I don't know if they usually, it's like for the most part it's that, and sometimes it goes that. I don't know. But this right now is perfection. So I got a little blue diamond in the middle, basically to help offset this whole black area. So if we open the box, so they didn't have any guides for this tab, like a cutting line, but I was able to work out where the cutting line would be, so that it would be safe to have images in there. So you'll always see the jelly beans on that tab regardless. The same thing with the little tabs on the inside. So we'll simulate the drift there. So you can see this up here. Is safe. It's not too far onto the edge. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. I like that. I could show you what I do with the AI generator, or well, let's start with this. So basically, I used ChatGPT and fed it all my lyrics after I came up with some rules for the game, and asked it to kind of come up with some ideas for me. It wasn't exactly perfect. You can see it goes from 1 to 13 because there were a lot of rows that I removed. And you can kind of see why if I show you this. So I was trying to get it to give me individual concepts for cards and suggest up to 3 titles, flavor text, effect text, whatever. I was just trying to get more options and kind of, I don't know, just try to get more ideas out of it so I could select as I went through each card. But it decided to repeat those 3 ideas for all the cards in that category. So you can see I have Nap Under Desk as 3 different escapes. Forgotten Holiday as 3 different escapes. Some of these had like 12 cards, and they would just keep alternating the 3 different options. So I'll just show you what I do. So this is a Nap Under the Desk. I have to figure out which one of these the nap maps to. Right now, this is going to be the first flavor. Now we need the effect. Only usable at night. Forgotten. Oh, the office. Auto reply. Sing a freedom song. Wait. I think these. Oh, we got a winning card. So I'm going to say Forgotten Holiday is yellow. And we'll make... So I got to figure out, because these aren't always in the correct order either, but it looks like Forgotten Holiday is number 2 on all of these. It looks like the napping might be flavor. It might be the first of all these. Reset whelm to 0. Only usable at night. Wow. I actually think this is pretty good. And we'll do the out of office auto reply. Silence is golden automatic. Avoid all burdens. Reveal with shadows. Auto reply. Okay. So we got our cards. So we have 3 cards to make with these escapes. Actually, let's go ahead and I didn't finish the effects yet, and I already have the icon for the effect. I don't have the icon for the escape set up yet. So I want to go ahead and do the Cubicle rewind. Optional screen can be used while standing. Act fast, think slow. Binder drop. Paper cut, act fast. Paper nut, you draw 3, keep 1. I think some of these are mixed. Because act fast, think slow sounds more like an act of a binder drop. But no, none of these made sense with the random snack rush. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the Cubicle rewind. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do this. Is this the... So this is the template that I work with. This is for the instructions. Yeah, we'll save those. And this is one of the templates they give me for the other panel. This is the box that I was working on. Back. Wait, what? Wait, something looks off. Something's off. They call it a tarot tuck box because they're the same size as tarot cards. That's another thing is I'm thinking about looking at smaller cards as well. Let me just close this. Discarded changes. This is my little logo. Okay. So this is the back of the card that we're going to see. So what I do, first thing I do is I work with the titles. Let's get the titles. And there is, one of these is actual text. So I first start with text that looks normal. And I go in here and I say Cubicle rewind. So you can see the whole the whole process of what I do. Okay. Now I have to go and make it round. So I go to my paths. I have this oval path. You can see it here now. It's red. And I just make sure it's selected, and I go back to my text. Make sure it's selected. The layer is selected here, and I say export to paths. Text along path. So normally I would use Photoshop to do this. It'd be much easier in some cases. However, my subscription to Photoshop has run out and it's very expensive. So I'm just using something called the GIMP, which is free, but it feels like I'm jumping through a lot more manual hoops. But I'm able to do things eventually over time. All right, so we've got this pink letter stuff. So I need to create a new layer. Okay. And I'm going to call this Cubicle Rewind. I like to name my layers so I can figure out what they say. I'm going to go back to the path, and I'm going to right mouse click the path, Cubicle Rewind, and say Fill Paths, because there's multiple paths. Foreground color. There we go. We no longer need to select our path because now we have actual text that we can see. And now I can kind of get this up here. Cubicle Rewind. And I usually like to have the bottoms of the non-capital letters hitting the bottom of the oval path. So there we go. And now we no longer need to see the oval path. So let's go back to our layers. And we are now done with our title. The next is the flavor. And our flavor for this one, and for some reason I have to start at the second letter here. Otherwise, if I start at the leftmost, you see how the number here matches the number here with the size. So I need to go onto the second letter. So we need to say back pedal through. Now I can remove that last one. So the question is, should it be all one line? Or 2 lines? I think this one's okay with 2 lines. If it's just 1 line, I have to readjust things anyway. Now, all players draw 1 card. Okay, so this is the effect. So all players draw 1 card. Looks like the American Red Cross is trying to call me again. All players draw 1 card. And I like to use numbers. And then all players draw 1 card. Now this, because it's changing the number of lines, I need to make sure the center, it's middle aligned. So I have to move that so I can see this red checkerboard is an alignment pattern that I use. It looks pretty good. Okay, we no longer need that. Now we need the optional effect. And the optional effect is optional screen included. Wait. Can be used while standing. Or optional screen included. See, I'm looking at the binder drop, and the binder drop looks like it would make more sense to have that optional screen. Or no. Can be used while standing would be the binder drop. See, I'm not sure why the optional screen included. Some of these are just really silly. I need to... So the whole idea right now is let's get all the cards created. And then we can... I didn't... I think that's the problem. Optional screen included. Yes, this does include a lot of work. And part of what I'm trying to do is the whole idea of like, because the name's unbalanced, it kind of helps with, well, it doesn't have to be perfect if you're telling people it's not balanced right off the way. But I need to... Oh. I still want to actually test this somehow. And there's a game store in town. They have game developers that come and test their products sometimes, from what I understand. It's always when it's inconvenient because I have other meetings, but I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and do that. Go and see them and test the games. So this is going to be card number 11. So I'm going to change this down here. So I'm trying to keep all of my card numbers unique. There is 0, 1. Well, this is an effect. So I was saying I had an escape that I need to create a new icon for, but I still have the effect icons, so that's been done. Now I need a logo or some kind of image to put in the center here. So if I go up here, Cubicle rewind. So the suggestion is marionette rewinding time with an analog watch. So my whole concept album with the videos and everything has marionettes. So you see a lot of the mention of marionettes here. But I'm like, rewinding time with an analog watch. That's almost like, I would almost say put all players put one card on the deck, in a sense. Because that would be rewinding. Unless they just played their card. You can't... It's going to be too difficult to ask people to remove the card they just played. Let's just go ahead and we'll go to the logo generator. I'm going to do standard. I do the square. we're on logo concept images, and then I just say a cubicle with a large clock going backwards. Let's see what that says. Not a cube, an office cubicle with a large clock going backwards. That is too much stuff. So I want simple things. That's better. That's better. Count. Maybe that helps. I'm trying to think, because I could just put the numbers in instead of, I could put numbers where instead of 1 I say 11, and then 10 9 8 7 going around. I could make the clock mirrored backwards. I'm just not seeing action. Or something that shows that our hands are moving. 10 9 8. That doesn't look like an 8. Spinning. Maybe spinning helps give the effect. An office cubicle farm. Ugh. It's Gerald the ficus is now working in the office. Why are there plants? Oh, because I said farm. A large office with many cubicles. Like it doesn't realize what a cubicle farm is. That's what the problem is. I like this. That's much better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna copy the images. We'll just copy this. I might go with that. I want to try a few more ideas. I don't know what's this SC. Oh man, I don't like these half cubicle height things, because what it is you're just in one big room at that point, and you're just listening to everybody else screaming at or talking to each other and banging away at their keyboards. Okay, I'm just gonna go with what we've got. So so I opened up this with GIMP. So I just sometimes I like to play with the colors a little bit. Not much of a change there. Okay. Now I go down to the images. We don't have any images selected. So we got our image in the background layer. And now I like to resize that image. Oh, I've got the wrong thing. Why is the pattern selected? I know I was here. I was transforming the path. There we go. Okay. Now I want a composite preview so I can see. I want to keep the ratio. Let's go around the center. Keep the clock there. Actually, I like the idea that the clock is at the top. Maybe. I think that's... I don't know. I haven't made any alignment layers to help me with the making sure things are centered properly. Cubicle rewind. Optional screen included. So I want to change this. I don't know. Maybe not. I was thinking maybe all players put one card on the deck. But if you have your own deck, see, I haven't come up with the idea if everybody has their own deck or they share the same deck. Okay, so I think we're good here. So we're going to save the image, and then I say export. And right now I go into cards final. And then this is export. Did this? Oh, this did not. Wait a minute. I'm noticing all these patterns I tried pasting earlier or have separate windows open. Okay. So when I export, I put them in where are they final. Now this is an effect. Cubicle rewind. Phase 1. I'm gonna put that. I've changed things recently so that like I now have separate decks for effects and such, which I was getting into. Let's go back to this guy. So we can go to our effects and we can say we're going to upload card game, cards, final, moved, effects, open. so that I'm just naming it a specific way. So here we have Cubicle Rewind. It's common, and we're using the back from this deck here. Now that I've uploaded it, they require me to proof it, the view of it. So you can disable. So this is what the printer's going to do. I can hide those cut lines if I want. I can hide the bleed. Everything looks fine to me. Approve. And there we go. We now have 2 cards. Now, I will need at least 10 cards before this is ready. So you can see all these, they're going to show you all these warning signs, because it's saying, hey, we have classes that don't have any cards to put into that class. Each of these say that. The instructions, I still need to prove the backside. I didn't make the backside yet. I just uploaded the front just to see stuff. The box itself is good, so we're good there. So how the other thing is, I'll show you what we can do. How I can add things, or what I can add. So these are parts of games. So I can add different size cards, boxes, and instructions. I can make these little chits or counters. These are kind of cool. They fit within each other. I got different ideas for that, as in you could actually make some kind of counter to keep track of. If you put numbers around here and an arrow to point at those numbers, you can keep track of like scores. And if you have 2 of them, which this has 2, you can actually have a Caesar cipher. And if you want, you can have an arrow pointing at which letter starts with each message first. And you can even rotate that arrow for each message. There are 4 chits per slug. 1, 2, 3. That is pretty cool. We have board games you can print on the actual board itself. We have little meeples for reference. We have transparent cards you can print on. We have dice you can print on. D6, D4, and D8. When I was doing this 12, 13 years ago, the only thing you had for dice were stickers that you would print on, and people would be asked to affix the sticker to to a blank D6. We didn't have D4s or D8s. I'm a little surprised they don't have like D10s, 12s, and 20s, especially with D&D. Although you've got less surface area to print on as you go up in numbers, so that might be a reason for that. These clear decks are new to me. Custom large cardstock. This is interesting. Do you get to choose the shape that you're cutting? Cuts are cut by laser, and as a result, you can mix and match items on a sheet by having a different. You can cut a custom shape. That is so crazy. You can make round cards. You can make hexagon cards. All kinds of things. Medium stickers. Medium punch outs. Look at these. You can punch out little airships if you make them. Somebody made a dice tower. So this is like the way that laser cut works. So I teach people at the library how to use the laser cutter, and these are some of the things you could make with it. It seems kind of like pretty much the same concept. Deck box, full and printed. Look at that. These are dividers. Oh, these are the sticker sets I was talking about for the D6s. Nice little counters here. You have two counters. I think they have another one with just one wheel. They got all kinds of cool stuff. They got foil cards. This is the size I'm working with. This is the Terra size. Printed meeples? No way. No way. That's awesome. Large circles, large booklets, quad fold game prototype box. It's a large ring set. It's a large ring set. What's the stuff on the edge there? What's that about? Create your upgradable tokens with rings. These fit perfectly around their large circle chits. Inside the ring of the bullseye chits. You may mix and match up to 10 types per sheet. Yeah, like basically you can do any of these, and they give you templates to show you where to cut. There's the smaller dial. This is where I had to choose a box. And wait a minute, where's my card? So I went to the cards first. And right now I'm using the tarot cards. You can print anything you want. It doesn't have to be tarot. So that's why I'm printing the game that I have with them. Which boxes can hold this? So I did this, and I found the 40 card or the 90 card box. So I'm having to choose between 40 and 90. I wanted to do like 50, 55 cards, but I can't do that. And then you get the really large boxes, which are like if you want dice, tokens, things like that. The cool thing is they will put everything together for you. So when I go here, all these products, if they see a box, they will put the instructions and all of the cards into that box for you, and so that you could actually sell it in a store. So it looks like right now with what I have, it'll be $23. Cost each. I feel like it'd be more than that. So here's the breakdown. Here's the cost for one. And then if I want to, why are they all 23.18? I feel like that's off. Card crafting deck. So they see I have 50 cards on 5 sheets. What are the 2 fees? Oh, handling and random components. Handling fee. So this is, I think this is what they charge for putting the cards in the instructions into the box. I'm not quite certain. But why is it the same price regardless of if it's 1 or 1,000? That seems kind of odd. So I can fit 90 cards in it, right? So if I go to components. And right now there's 52 in a sense, because the instructions count as one, as 2 cards. So I can add 3 more. Let's say 3. No, we need to make this 4. So we'll have 80 cards and the instructions, which is equivalent to 82 cards, right? So then if I go to production, 3146. Okay. Edit. I want part of Bazaar to be the one that designed it. Organization. Surfacing, yes. Oh yeah, I wanted UV protection on everything. So there, yeah, I wanted all my decks to be randomized, but I wanted the categories to be randomized, mainly so I could make sure I have exactly like 10 burdens, exactly 10 effects. So there, if they are packaged instead, you will need to use our embedded game. If you include all the cards within one game, your cards will not be sorted by deck when they are packaged. Oh, okay. All right. So what the embedded game? Let's say I wanted 2 starter decks, separated. That's the embedded game. I would make 2 small games embedded into the bigger game. That would make sense. In fact, if I wanted to, I could create 2 of these barred and unbalanced decks, especially if I had enough cards in all to be random. So a deluxe set would be like 2 players. So you'd have 2 separate embedded games of those, plus all the accessories. I could put like dice in there, coin tokens, things like that. And I can make mustaches that you can put on and do silly stuff. And a rubber chicken. I wonder if I can make a scale out of some of that thick cardboard stock. I will need a wand. So I got lots of ideas for the game, but right now it's just trying to come up with all the cards and play testing a basic set of it to see how it works out. You can add the files to be downloaded themselves. So since I have the instructions, where are my instructions? Are they not here? So I can say docs. Okay, so here's my instructions, right? And this is just a basic starter. What I could do is I could say file, download, PDF, and then I can take this and say add a downloadable file, downloads, open, Bazaar, and unbalanced rules. Oh, they don't like that. Available after purchase. Sure. So you didn't even track how many people downloaded it. Okay, so I have now. Here's my rules as a downloadable file. Um, in fact, that lets you, so you don't even have to have the instructions with the game. But I would like the instructions with the game. But you can add more details here if you like. Terrafolio. Name. Ownership, organization, coding. What is, I think this is the, yeah. And I like to do magic tricks, so I don't want to do the linen. Test. Art test. Schedule new art. For bringing an art test, you guys go. It costs only want that. And you'll have feedback. Before you submit your art test, please be sure. Sanity test. $40 for somebody to test it. Interesting. Enter a contest. Community verified test. And we have like Kickstarter. Buy a copy of your game. So I think I can buy my game without publishing it. So I could I can look at everybody else's games and I can list my game on the market, or I could just put my game, link to my game from my website, which is the main thing I want to do, is make sure that my main Barda Bazaar website shows the game for sale. Playing cards. I could just, okay. Barda Bazaar. So they allow you to do just regular playing cards. So let's see. I want. We're gonna make something really simple here. Where's the it's one of these, the main logo, right? Cancel. Previous. Barda Bazaar. Edit. Wait. So we want. This is the logo I want. So I'm gonna go back up here. Next. Position the trim line. Okay, they didn't give me. So basically, they let you create playing cards with custom backs. It'll do the whole regular poker cards. What I want to do. See, they don't say what size, and they don't give you all the cutting marks. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this really, really quick, I think. So I'm going to say, open this up with GIMP. So we got our thing. And I want to I'm doing something in the other window. Give me a second. Okay. File, new. So this is what they're giving me to overlay. So what I want to do is I want to grab this and use this itself as a template. So image, crop, crop the content, no, crop the selection. And then, so we got an idea of what we want. Now, that's too big. So we got an image, scale image. I'm going to make this 750. All right. And now we still have this blue around it. I think we're almost there. I mean, it looks like it's actually pretty good. I think we're good. So I want to give it a black background. Like that. So if I go with that, file, export as, and I can say the Bard of Bazaar playing cards, and we'll just do a refusion, and then export, and then I'm going to go back up to the top. So that's where it was giving me that. So I'm going to go back. And we're going to go here. Next. Look at that. It looks pretty close. Oh. They're not going to let me go all the way. I mean, it's pretty close. The trim line is where your card will be cut. You drag the little white boxes at corners. They don't let me drag all the way. That's really weird. Because otherwise it would pretty much have it. So let's go next. Verify the back. Yeah, that looks nice and crisp. Look how nice. Okay. We can toggle that on and off. We can go to next. Oh! So what can I go with? Look at that. I like these. I like the pirate theme. Choose a style of face you want. Yeah, the pirate theme's most likely the ideal. Alright, and add it. Wait a minute. I can't add this as a to the store. It can only be added to the cart. Look at $10 for custom playing cards. Subtitle $10. I will ship to Brazil, and I'll have it by the end of the month. That's 18 days, a little over 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. That's pretty cool. Convert to wish lists. So we can't add poker cards to our store. You can only do a custom. Bar Bazaar, your deck is now ready. Playing card design, upload position, proof, face style. You know what? I've never actually purchased anything from them before, so I'm just curious. Proceed to checkout. Optional users field. Continue payment. Regular production. Oh wow. For $10 I can get it. Holy smokes. 4 days to print. That is very fast. 14 to 30 days after production. It is not. Wow. Wisconsin. I don't want to drive to Wisconsin. What is this? Ups next day, early AM. Wow, you can get this stuff fast if you need it. Coupon code. Yeah. So I'm gonna do this off screen. Let's see, PayPal. Well, they already know who I am. 1637. Oh, because that's taxes and shipping. Okay, complete purchase. I just want to see what it looks like when they deliver the product. That is pretty cool. Thank you for using PayPal. And I will have to go soon. So we'll say we've got an estimated ship date. We have a purchase. Complete this order. They have my phone and address. When you receive your order, be sure to look through all the packaging materials. Some small parts in the print receipts, order status, updating inventory, positioning. Whoa, it's interesting position. So this is just a ship date. That doesn't mean when I'll get it. And they've changed their estimate. I thought it was July 28th, so they've bumped it 2 days. I'm surprised. Make getting started games, my creation, playing cards. So there's the cards. So if I want to have control over the faces of the cards, I would actually have to go and make the game. So I would have to my creations and where's my the Sweet Raccoons games. I was gonna say, here's the art. Okay, there's Barton Unbalanced. What is Component Studio? Component Studio will automatically format for you and give them a print and play PDF. Where all images will be full bleed. What is this? when you make the change it in one place and get a whole new set of images. Because basically this is what I'm going through. I have a template of images that I'm adjusting. And is this code? That looks like there's code involved. Do I get to control that code? Hundreds of images of cards or tiles are just all variations on a theme.
If you're a game
Let's see. Component studio, position, size. Can I warp the text? This is some text. With boundary. I don't need that. With hide overflows in styles. Maybe styles. What is a function all about? This is some text. Because part of this is like I need a specific font. Okay, it looks like you have HTML involved. Big images, text box, vertical alignment. Effects is probably where it will be, if anything. But can I upload my own font to use? And can I curve the text? And can I center the text on that curve? Export PDF. So here's this might be interesting because I'm in the middle just creating a ton of cards. And if I can break it down and simplify to where I'm just updating a spreadsheet with all of the data, plus the main images behind, because there's the main visual image plus the icon in the upper right for the type of card, and the icon in the lower left for the set. I need to look into that. What is features? Features, think image, enter automation, upload assets. Yeah, here we go. We're saying a style sheet. Oh, upload fonts. Place, rotate, create stylized text. That's the question. What is stylized text? Is that the text that I need? Classic font. Make a deck of what is pricing here? Pricing. All features of CS. What? 20 big gigabytes, 3 free to cancel before. And okay, so there's a cost, a monthly cost to this. Wait, is Component Studio part of Game Crafter? I'm gonna have to remember that. I feel like did I follow this accidentally? Well, no, there's the Game Crafter logo. Your Component Studio is part of the Game Crafter. Okay, because here I'm like, well, where's the Game Crafter? I see them, they made the videos. Here we are at the bottom. I'm kind of curious if this is usable or not, but there's a cost to it. So in 3 days, I mean, it might be enough to figure out if it works or not, but and these are so bland. Let's see a flashcard. Like you saw what I like to do. I like to make the arced text and centered. Upload assets. The upload fonts to stylize your text. But do they do anything else for text? See, I see create stylized text. I don't know if they do what I'm looking for. Can I put text on paths? That's the thing. Can I create paths? Features. I'm already at features. They don't show much. To review a project example. Pull up precise seeking. Who's the game? Yeah, I don't see what I'm looking for. So we have our spreadsheet, which is what they're saying. This looks like Uno. And what? So that's a 5. What are they just going to resize it? Corner default styles, horizontal line spacing, fit to size, vertical alignment, letter spacing. Yeah, so this text formatting isn't really doing it. What I want to see is what do the effects show? Position, size, center, mutalis, height, main, rotate. Get rid of this. Yeah, it's still not the effects. We're getting down to the image. Here, adjust, color, blending, blur, color overlay. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something to do with paths. And I would have thought like the arcing that I'm trying to do is like the most generic thing that anybody could do. You don't really need the whole advanced thing of paths if you can at least do the basic center image, position, and sign and effects. Yeah. Color just, yeah. I guess I'm just trying to do something a bit too advanced for what they offer. It feels like what I'm doing is generic on its own. Because I would have loved to just automate. Wait, is GIMP? I feel like I can program GIMP. Like maybe that's some kind of feature. I'm just thinking through this. The problem is mainly all the text alignment, because some text has multiple lines. Some, like we're talking between 1 and 5 lines for stuff. Do I want to go through all that? I don't want to go through all that. Oh, the one other thing I usually do before I head off is these cards I start tracking when I create it. So I just create an effect 0. So even though I have all these generated cards that I got, I then put what I settle on. Cubicle rewind, and then I can go through this sheet as a final thing. So where's the cards? Cards final, cubicle rewind, and I say back pedal through your Eucharacy. All players draw 1 card. I think I have to go back and fix the capitalization there. Optional, scream included. And now we have a type, so I need to make all these common. Okay, so now that I have two effects, this spreadsheet now was updated with two effects. I probably need to do like common, uncommon, rare, elite, legendary, total, something like that. I could just say, or no, we already have the totals over here. But that just builds on the whole idea of randomness. If I get to that point, expected, I'm gonna have to change this to 10, 10. We're gonna have to. I think we can do. We just need to make sure they add up to 5. So tools and twist, allies 689. And we'll go with 4 escapes. So allies and escapes needs to total up to 10, and tools and twists need to total up to 10, because those jets come in increments of 10. I think. It's just stuff I'm getting set up with. All right, so I got stuff I got to do. I'm already a bit late. 5:30 to 7:30 is the Warren Heritage Society. And they just had their opening reception, and then what is it? And it's like Porter Till. And then I have the Chosen at the Methodist Church at 7 that I was invited to as well. And there's somebody who wants to meet me at the Heritage Society before I go over to the Methodist Church. Yeah. So yeah, that's fun stuff. Yeah.